What's going on, everybody? Today I want to talk about some more maps that could be coming to Modern Warfare 2. Of course, this has not been confirmed by Activision. Looking at the maps we have, it's safe to say that most people is not enjoying these maps in Modern Warfare 2. I think a lot of these maps just don't flow good. It doesn't help that we have a horrible spawn system. It's not uncommon for you to hit your respawn button and immediately die, or immediately spawn with somebody right there, and even though you can get that kill, it's still that feeling of, really? I just spawned. I just started. And for me personally, all I'm doing is playing Shoot House. The only time I venture out from Shoot House is to actually play Tier 1 when I need to get like one-shot kills. It's really easy with the pistols and the marksman rifles. But those maps, I don't know how people are playing those. I don't know how there's people out there right now playing some of those maps. The car map, how did that get through development? How did somebody sit there and be like, I got a great idea. We're just gonna play on a highway. We're gonna fill it up with cars. It'll be a blast. The first 3 minutes of the match, cars just exploding everywhere. It'll be great. It'll be hilarious. People will love it. Just watch. Nobody likes it. I don't know how many people I've heard in Reddit, in YouTube comments, and have told me personally that I know that as soon as that map comes up, they just back out. They don't even give it a chance. There's a couple okay maps at best, but there's no maps that I would rank any higher than like a 5 out of 10. It's just not good. And I'm not a big fan of Shoot House either, but it's the only map that's like somewhat playable. And it'd be really cool to see other maps from the original Modern Warfare 2 come in, and not even from the original Modern Warfare 2, but we look at Al Mazrah, and we have Dome from MW3, we have Quarry, we have High Rise, and we've also been leaked that there could be Castle from World at War coming into Modern Warfare 2 as well. And these are all maps that we need to have at least come into the game quicker than what they might or might not even be planned to be coming in, because I think a majority of players right now are already getting burnt out by playing the same few maps, and they're not even that good of maps. If they're really good maps, it would take longer to get burned out even if there wasn't a whole bunch of them to play on. But because we have a low number of maps and they're not good quality maps, getting burnt out quicker because of that. And what's hard though is I don't want to see a whole bunch of remake maps come into the game either, because then it feels like Activision is not really trying. And I know they're kind of known for that in the last 3 to 4 years of not really putting in a lot of effort, but it kind of sucks to see a whole bunch of remake maps make it in only because they're trying to just override the crappy maps that they originally made versus actually coming out with good new maps as well. It used to be back in Black Ops 2 and the DLC, it would come out with 4 maps, and one of those maps would always be a remake map, which was completely fine. So at the end of the entire year span that we had Black Ops 2, we had 4 remakes. We had an entire catalog of completely new maps as well. So at the end of the year, we had Black Ops 2 original new maps and a whole bunch of DLC new maps that are exclusive to Black Ops 2, as well as only 4 remakes. And it was cool to see those remakes, and I want to see these remakes come into Modern Warfare 2, but I don't want them to make the return only to cover up the fact that they're not making new ones. I also want to see new maps, but they need to be good. They need to have good flow. The spawn system just needs to get repaired in general. But there's none of that, and I think it would be really easy for Activision to take out those parts of those maps. Not only do they have that map already made from a past Call of Duty and they just got to re-image it and push it out there, but they've already re-imaged these maps for Al Mazrah. They could just simply put a border around it of how bad they want that map to be, like High Rise and Dome and Quarry in Terminal, and just put it back into Modern Warfare 2. I think that would be a good thing for them to do. If they give us all those maps right away, I feel like we're just gonna repeat getting burnt out again. Because even though they could give us a plethora of maps really quickly, it's how long is it gonna take to get burnt out on those 4 or 5 maps? And even though they're really good maps. So I understand why they're trying to drip feed us content, but I think it needs to be drip fed a little quicker as well. If we're only coming out with 1 map every season, that's not going to be good. That's not going to retain that player base. So they're going to come back. If it's a really good map like High Rise, they're going to come back maybe for a week or two on the new season. And then by the time they played High Rise and kind of had that nostalgia come back, or for the newer Call of Duty fans that have no idea how good High Rise is, they're going to try it out because they want to see what all the hype is about. But after a while, it's just going to die down again. And then we're going to have to go like 1 or 2 months before they drop us another map. They need to be dropping us maps at least every couple weeks, as to not have players get burnt out. And I know they want to stay low risk because that's why they're not coming out with a lot of new maps. One, it's probably hard to create a good design. Where's the location going to be? How should it flow? Where are the spawn points going to be? And just everything about that map. There's a lot of detail that goes into them. So I understand why they would rather take an old map, re-image it, and ship it out. But I do want to see new maps as well. And I'm completely fine with seeing re-imaged maps. I don't want to make it sound that I'm not. It's the whole concept of why those maps are coming back in. If they're coming back in to cover up that they're too lazy to come out with new maps, that's not good. I want to see a lot more new maps than I want to see re-imaged maps. But the sad part is all these new maps are just not that great. And I think even with Infinite Warfare, they could re-image a lot of those maps, and they would have to do some work where we can't do wall running here in Modern Warfare 2, but they could easily make like maybe a little platform to make that map work a little bit better for Modern Warfare 2. And so they have a ton of maps to choose from, and we have such a limited number of maps that they need to start making these maps come out here quicker. They're going with tried and true, Shoot House, Shipment. There's talk about Castle coming back. We need to keep seeing those new maps. And I've never played the map Museum, but I've heard it's really good. And I know there could be a lot of legal jargon going on right now with what's going on with that map. We have no transparency with Infinity Ward of what's going on. It never really has been transparent.